know something. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. I don't know where he's going, but I want to.
Epic weather. You either wake up in bike racing and when you see this you go, oh fuck, or you say, oh yeah. I'm kind of like, this isn't bad. It's not raining hard. I hope it stays like this the entire race. I don't know how some guys will fare, but I just have a problem when it's torrentially downpouring. I hate that. I did a race in Allegheny State Park a few years ago where I had to just go basically right. I was cold on the line, so I gotta attack right when the race starts and just ride my ass off the whole way. And I ended up getting in a break with a dude called Graham Thomas. I call him Graham Hammer, not Graham Hammer, because he just hammered all the time. And, it was one of the worst experiences of my life on a bike. But yeah, off to the Steve Bauer Classic. Pea soup. It's gonna be a hard man's day today. You're not going to have you're not going to get a guy to win this race that's not fit. I will see you down in Effingham. This is not the closest race to me on the OCA calendar, but it is the closest in terms of my heart. I grew up here. This is my old stamina. This is where Seamus, this is where Shane grew up, right down here in Fawn Hill, Ontario. I remember the hotel right near the start line, just Hipwells, is where I watched Steve Bauer win Olympic silver in '84 in LA. And he's from Fawn Hill. Hence the name, the Steve Bauer Classic this morning. Fawn Hill, we're just climbing the Vine Street Hill, Victoria Avenue. And looky, look what's coming out, the sun. This is a pleasant surprise. You know, all week they were saying rain throughout the race. Looks like it might clear. Up. We got an hour and a half, hour 40 right there at the start time. Roads are wet. That's never fun. They get the spray and shit, but if that sun comes out, they could dry up fast. They say it's getting up to 23 Celsius here today, so classic. It's shaping up to be a classic. Wine country. If you ever get the chance, come down to the Niagara region. Wineries everywhere. You see this guy here, he's in the industry. It's that Polish beer. Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Oh, so the day after the Bauer Classic, right? And to say yesterday was disappointing would be an understatement. Severely pissed off. You know, I got dropped almost about just before halfway. In terms of I dropped my chain, I put the video up, and you guys just seen it. And you know, when I was riding prior to that, I did a few turns at the back where I took a look, and I think I seen like 2 riders, and that turned out to be true, trying to bridge, but behind them nothing. So the gap had to easily be over 90 seconds, maybe a minute to them, which turned out to be exactly true. We weren't really riding hard, but we were doing steady pulls, and it was consistent. We were really starting to really get the rotation flowing, and then boom, the chain drops. And my initial thing was, well, you know, when you lose a minute like that after spending an hour getting that, it's just, with the seat and that, it's just, you know, I just mentally said, fuck this shit. You know, 2 weeks in a row now where I've had bad luck. And I got, you know, I packed it in. And then I watched the race. I seen them guys come through with 3 to go with minute and 25 seconds, and I'm like, this is gonna work, because when they went by me after I packed it in, they weren't, there was no, they were feeling the race, you know, just getting around that course is tough. And you know, for the first hour we weren't, I think we had 40.4 kilometers an hour. So 5 guys in the break, we weren't fucking around. We were jamming good. I could never remember an average speed of over 40 kilometers an hour all my years of doing the Bauer Classic. I mean, sometimes the wind has a lot to do with it. Sometimes when it's a headwind on the climb like that, the rest of the course is pretty quick. So it's good, but I've never seen it that fast. I even did the Senior 1-2 race where it's never been that fast. Obviously, yesterday they were that fast. And, you know, the guys that did it are quality riders. Bruce Bird, Galen, Merritt, you know, you got Ed Veal, you got these guys. But anyways, the M1's no joke. And, you know, for us to get up the road like that and to roll and then to see 3 laps to go, like, holy shit, these guys got a chance. And I really knew after, with 1 to go, when it was 55 seconds, that's when it really started to sting. I'm like, Jesus, I missed, what an opportunity I had here today. I felt fantastic on the whole course, save for the 40 seconds we spent on the 15% grade. I could have really used a 20, 28 in the back where I could stay seated because I had to stand, or I could have stayed seated and just, you know, because the wheels were slipping at some points when it was a little rainy, right? So, what are you going to do? What I'm going to do is just get back on the bike and keep going at it. Go out for 3 hours here today. It's Sunday. To say I drank a little yesterday would be an understatement. Probably knocked off probably 18 Coors Light. Just, you know, that's what I do when I suffer disappointment like that. Yeah, it's a process, and you know, I'm over it. You know, I originally thought they got the brake got caught 2K out from the line. Turns out Nick Dwyer's been talking to some of the guys that were up in the break with me, Matt Javaris, and you know, it turns out they were only caught a few hundred meters from the finish. So now my question, and you know, I'm going like, Jesus, if I stayed in that race, and we were talking and communicating, we are all on board. We got to stay together for as long as possible, because it's working. What we're doing is working. If I was to have not had that misfortune to dropping the chain, could we have stayed away and winner come from the bunch, from that bunch? Absolutely, I think that's 100%. They missed by letting us 5 go yesterday. That was a huge mistake. And you didn't have guys that haven't done well at Niagara at the back chasing. Matthew Sistavero, whatever his name is, can't even pronounce his name. Greg Moore. These guys have all done well in this course, and they made a mistake. And you know, that's bike racing. That's why I love racing my bikes. Taking gambles like that. You know, one of these days it's going to pay off. But to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. You only get, you know, we only race our bikes a handful of times a year, and to get an opportunity to get in a break like that comes along every so often. And who knows when the next one will be? The provincial course, non-selective. I don't think it's going to be too dynamic. It's going to be probably a move that goes, the distance is only 100K. So it's going to only be a 2.5-hour race there. So it's going to be more like an animated crit on a bigger loop, you know. It's just, I can't see that course being that selective. But then we go into the criteriums, and we'll see what happens. But Niagara, that's why I cut the weight. That's why I really avoided all the spring races leading up. I wanted to come in as a gamble, and I wanted to roll the dice, and I wanted them to do exactly what they did yesterday, underestimate me. And I don't think they'll do it again. I don't think if they do, they're foolish. If they do, they're foolish. But yeah, to say what I've been doing with David hasn't been working is, you know, I talk about this system and people laugh. This system. Well, you know what? In 8 weeks' time, you'll see. You'll see. Like Conor McGregor says, I'm not here to take part. I'm here to take over.